USC commits, and I guess we've started off pretty much every one of these things just talking about, first of all, how has this impacted you, the COVID-19 and visits and all? I mean, did you end up announcing your commitment earlier than you would have because of the situation?
Kind of, yeah, for the most
Yeah.
part. Yeah.
So tell us what your day consists of. This is pretty much my day right here.
So pretty much my day consists of I get up, try to get up around 8 every day. So I get up, I check my phone for school assignments, and then from there I get up, brush my teeth, come back to my bed, open up my laptop, and then from there I just get to do my schoolwork. Yeah, I do my schoolwork, I do my push-ups, then I eat, and then I try to do all my schoolwork that's due for the week pretty much in one day.
Really?
And
Wow.
then just push-ups,
So the schooling part. Whenever in high school, we always loved the fact when I lived in Minnesota for a couple of years, snow days were amazing. You a couple of days off school, but man, at some point, don't you get to the point where you just can't wait to go back to school and be
Yeah, most
with everybody?
definitely. Just to communicate with your peers is pretty fun. So I
All
think
right.
everybody doing that right now.
So USC, the recruiting momentum, you and I have talked about this just in our phone conversation and text and all that kind of stuff. The recruiting momentum that USC has right now is everybody's kind of noticing it. And from coast to coast. And what do you think is behind kind of, we'll call it the resurgence of USC's recruiting efforts?
I just think it's a different energy in the building, if that makes sense. It's a different energy, and I think it's just a lot of guys thinking the same. Everybody's thinking like kind of the same way, so that's why everybody kind of clicking off with the commits and stuff. Everybody kind of thinking the same way. It's not really like taking back it's taking back the West, or yeah, I think that's the hashtag, taking back the West. But it's just like more realistic. Like I don't think like people like the across the country schools, but I don't think they really want to go to those schools, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. With the energy part, is it just that there is energy? Because that's kind of, it seemed like it was kind of void of a whole lot of energy at USC in general, at least the last couple of years. Not that there wasn't any, but you guys certainly wouldn't get fired up to go take a visit to USC, even if you live down the street.
I just think it's like more communication throughout the. My fault. Sorry about that. Between the school and the athletes. So I just think it's more communication. It's just more communication, and then it's guys at the school who are kind of like, they're coaches, but you guys can kind of like talk more about football, and this is a comfortability level. It's a different comfortability level with the coaches that are there right now.
Okay, and it kind of goes beyond the recruiting part, because you can develop relationships with coaching staff across the country, and I know you have, but you also there must be a confidence level in these coaches, not just as recruiters and as people, but as coaches, and the way that you guys have confidence in being able to develop you. Is that something also that's going on?
Most definitely, because pretty much, every coach that I can think of on the staff has a long rap sheet of great guys they've mentored and coached and developed. So, yeah, that's
My last question before I let some of these other guys chime in too, but Dante Williams, we don't want to like maybe overplay what he did at Oregon, but it was pretty damn significant. And some guys are talking about how a lot of the guys that ended up going up to Oregon, at least for visits, maybe some of the guys ended up signing there. A lot of it was Dante. How important was he when you committed to Oregon?
he was big. That's the guy I talked to the most. Him and Coach Trey Watson, who's at UNLV now. I talked to those guys the most, and we just built a genuine relationship past football. So it was pretty much easy. It was like it was an easy decision. That makes sense.
Mark.
Hey, pleasure to meet you, Anthony.
Pleasure to meet you too.
All right, man. So first of all, it was awesome to hear you committing to your hometown school.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that.
Yeah.
Was it difficult for you to make that decommitment also, though?
Not really. It wasn't that hard. At the end of the day, it's still my decision at the end of the day. So
Right.
I'm not trapped in any decision. I haven't signed anything.
No. Like I said, I
Yeah,
was just curious.
yeah,
I know you like to have a lot of fun on social media with Twitter, so I'm sure you're aware of some of the stuff that gets said after a player
yeah,
commits or decommits. So
yeah,
that's
definitely.
why I was curious, and I kind of lurk in the background watching you guys, kind of toy with us. Um, you know, I know you don't do it maliciously, but can you just talk about your, why you like to have fun with the fans, and maybe how it's part of your personality, so people don't get the wrong idea about who you
Oh,
are.
I'll be having fun with the fans because it's like right now I have a lot of time on my hands, so it's like
We all do, right?
I see everything now that probably the things I wouldn't see when I had practice and stuff. So I'll be seeing everything now. And it'd be funny, so I'll just be chiming in. So yeah, I'll just chime in here and there. I'll chime into certain comments, certain DMs.
That's very cool. All right.
Hey, Anthony, I'm Blake. Nice to meet you, man. Hope you're doing well.
Same to you.
Um, so the group of guys that you're coming in with to SC, you guys got some dudes, and obviously you're one of them. But what is the ceiling? Like, what do you think you guys can accomplish? Your class of guys at SC.
Kind of like what LSU did this year in the draft, kind of like that team. And then even like what Ole Miss kind of did, like Ole Miss with Robert I don't know how to say his last name, but
Yeah.
yeah. And Trey Will and those guys and the NWO guys, just kind of like how they like turn the program around, like because SC's already in the up and up, but it's just like that extra that a powerhouse class, especially with guys is all from the West Coast, so it's gonna be a different type of like I don't know ambition playing in front of your in front of your family. Like if that makes sense.
Right. Is that something that you guys talk about? That all the guys that you're coming in with, do you guys talk a lot about kind of restoring that sort of old SC swag from 2003, 2004?
In a way, it's just kind of like doing our own thing because anytime you go across the country, you kind of jumping on their ship. That makes sense with the guys out south or the, up north or whatever. But it's cool to do your own thing in your own backyard, I would say.
One of the things I've noticed, Anthony, with a lot of the recruits, when they're making comparisons to how USC's recruiting, Va Tech is always in that conversation, and I noticed they're in your group as well.
Mm-hmm.
What are they doing over there? Can you talk about it?
Virginia Tech is their coaches at Virginia Tech are very passionate about the game, and you can tell that when you talk to those guys.
Right.
And they have a great group of developers. Like for instance, when I went up there, they showed the development of their players. It was crazy to see like guys that come in there scrawny, and in 12 months they didn't got ripped. So it's just different things, and then they have a rich history that people don't really know about them getting DBs drafted. So yeah.
Okay. I was just curious because when people think of Southern California, Blacksburg isn't one of the first places that pops to mind.
It's far away. It's far from home, most definitely.
Yeah, it's a different place. I know that. So to see that, I was just curious to hear it from the different players from this area, why that's so popular right now. If it's a certain coach that's recruiting the area, whatever it might be, but it's just something I've noticed. So.
And they opened the door at midnight. I mean, how
That's true.
Yeah, that was
many places do that?
That was the first place that did that for sure.
Well, you know what, Fig and Matt, they were so impressed that they both texted me saying, "You're not going to believe what they did here." And he said, "This is going to become something." Like, apparently, the Cal staff, and I'm not telling you anything you don't know because you talk to those guys more than I do. But I mean, that might become a thing.
Yeah,
these 7-on-7 clubs, you guys travel around, but that's what I want. Where I'm leading with this is you've had an opportunity, amazing opportunity, with Premium to travel around and see how many schools has it been, and just tell us, how those are memories that you're going to have for the rest of your life.
Yeah. So for me being on kind of like the oldest team for 2 years, I've seen I've been to places I never thought I would go to. Like I've been to South Carolina. I went to Clemson last year. I went to South Carolina. It was just dope seeing like the state, like how everything's run. It's different from how it is out here. Being in Atlanta, Where else did we go? Going to Louisville. We went to Kentucky.
Yes.
Just for our city guys, like we witnessed snow. Like we had snowball fights. Like it's just different things like that you always gonna remember. Like your first snowball fight. And where else did we go? Went to Louisville, Kentucky, Cincinnati. Cincinnati was super cold. We went to Cincinnati, and then we always go up north to the Bay. We always see Stanford, Cal, San Jose State.
Yeah.
And it was
Is
just,
there a visit? Because you guys, when you go on these visits, they open up the stadium for you guys. You guys are seeing pretty much everything that you can possibly see at these schools. Has there been any memorable experience? Like, was there one moment that blew you away any more than? For example, when I went to Notre Dame for the first time, I was inside that stadium and I was probably 9 years old, just in awe.
mm-hmm. My first time up to Eugene was dope. The Midnight Madness at Virginia Tech was dope. The Louisville trip with the Team Dime last year, that was pretty dope. Because I think we went to a basketball game. Yeah, we went to a basketball game, and then we went to the campus, and we all took pictures. Where else was pretty dope? Even when we stopped by North Carolina, even with no coaches there, it was just dope to see, like, the stadium and, like, the baby blue seats. So, yeah, it was pretty dope. I'll say – and we also went to Clemson. It was dope to see Clemson.
Oh, yeah.
Clemson got a whole basketball court, miniature golf, all type of different things.
I mean, do their facilities, are they on par with Oregon's, or is Oregon in a league of their own still?
Clemson is dope. Clemson is just like that purple and orange is different to finally see it in person. But I think for me, Oregon's is top notch.
Mm-hmm.
Oregon and Clemson is pretty up there, but Clemson is a little more like fun. Clemson's football thing is a little more fun.
When you went to Clemson, did you see anything outside of the university?
Yeah, we went to
because I mean, there's a reason why they make their stuff fun. There's not a whole lot there.
Yeah, so for us driving to all those schools, when we have long times of just talking in the vans,
right,
we can see there's not much, and like that's why like a lot of schools have college town because it's the only thing that's going on in the city.
Right.
So it's a unique thing to see, most definitely.
I'm glad you were able to experience that because it's different.
Most definitely, it's definitely been a blessing to see all those crazy, especially rich tradition schools. Like even but we went to where did we go? Went to Michigan State. We went to Ohio State. Those are dope, like structured facilities, like things. Because pretty much every school is structured differently. From the way you walk into all the trophies set up to all the rich history. So Ohio State had a lot of rich history. There's a lot of things that you don't know about Ohio State that you learn when you walk into their facility.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Are you going to take an official visit to any of those schools?
Official visit. My official visit. I'm gonna take official visits to FAMU.
Yes. You told me about that a year and a half ago. You started talking about that was going to be a. Can you help us explain why? I mean, I know why, but
I just think it's a dope opportunity, to see a HBCU. I've never been to a HBCU, so it's going to be a unique experience, especially because I'm gonna go out there for their homecoming game and really, soak up everything and just learn more about things. All the trips to me are learning experiences because you learn the school into more depth and just create connection even if you don't go to school because that position coach might be your head coach in the NFL. So it's just about rubbing elbows with different people, learning different things.
Who did get you? I mean, because you could have chosen several different schools. Why? Who got you to take the visit there, or who would get you to take the visit there? The coach that you're talking
to. So right now, I think I'm going to go to 3 visits. Then, like my father's visit, I think it's gonna be FAMU. It's gonna be 2 in-states and then to FAMU. So.
All right.
Yeah.
I think. I was just saying, what was the reason for that historically black college as opposed to like a Grambling or a Southern?
That was the first school to get in contact with me. So I don't remember if you guys know, like a while back, I made a tweet like I want to visit a HBCU. And then a couple of days later, the head coach from FAMU followed me, and then he DM me and he offered me. I'm like, oh, like I kind of just spoke it into existence. That makes
That's kind of
sense.
cool.
That's
Yeah, it
pretty
is.
That's kind of cool.
Blake, you got another question?
Yeah, Anthony, what do you like to do outside of football, and what are you doing right now to have some fun and take your mind off all this crazy stuff that's going on?
Listening to music. I listen to a lot of music. Sleeping, eating. I've been eating a lot. Yeah, cooking and different things like that way.
Favorite food?
Favorite food. I like steak, but then at the same time, I like chili cheese fries too.
Well, yes.
I like this guy already.
I mean,
Where,
that's like
where from?
that's a staple.
Chili cheese fries. That's tough. There's a lot of little hood spots in LA that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And you're gonna tell us about them.
Let me think. You got Fresh and Meaty, pretty fire. Where else you got? Astro Burger in Inglewood.
Oh,
Take
yeah.
a little while, but it's pretty good. What else you got? So chili cheese fries. Burger Factory. That's in LA.
You know, the best chili cheese fries always used to be at the Little League stands.
Yeah, them pretty good. Yeah, them pretty solid.
What's
Go,
one
Brandon Ryder.
restaurant you looking forward to getting back to after lockdown is over?
A restaurant. Cheesecake Factory. Cheesecake Factory to me got the best strawberry lemonade.
Yo, hey, I love that's like my favorite drink, man. I'm not even playing the
Very good.
factory strawberry lemonade. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, I like that little Buffalo Blast, that little appetizer Buffalo Blast, and things pretty good. So probably Cheesecake Factory. Where else? I think Cheesecake Factory for sure. Yeah, Cheesecake Factory.
Right. Did you guys hit up any unique or different restaurants, new restaurants on your visits this past?
Waffle House. Went to Waffle House. Where else? We went somewhere. Where we at? We was in Columbus, Ohio. I forgot where we went. It was like some little bar. It was like a bar and grill. Yeah, went there. And then we had a little smoothie shop out there also. I forgot. But we had a lot of parents with us, so for the most part, they were cooked. Oh, no. We went to a place in Blacksburg. It was called the Burger Shack or something. The food was so cheap. So it was so cheap. I think I got a double cheese. I think I got a double bacon cheeseburger, some chili cheese fries, and a strawberry shake for like $12.
Whoa.
Damn.
I had fat burger tonight. I had a.
I spent more than that at El Pollo Loco.
fries for $13.
Uh,
That's it. That's crazy.
All right, Anthony. So part of what we're going to do today is we're going to provide some insights on the USC recruiting.
Okay.
And the perception is that you're pretty involved with talking to guys. Just talk about, I mean, how much talking is going on? Is this like a thing goes on daily, texting, chat rooms? What's going on?
I just kind of tap in here and there, like.
Yeah.
So pretty much like when I committed, a gang of top recruits was like, congrats, so you feel me? I'm like, oh, yeah, appreciate it, but you should come join. Like, I see what you're doing, but you feel me? I think this is a better opportunity for us. Like, it's just like deeper than football, because like, especially being from LA and then going to USC, it's different. Like, I be wearing my little USC shirts. Oh, you go to USC? I'll just be like, yeah, I go to USC. Oh, that's dope, man. Keep up the good work. Like, I think you get a different type of respect, or like even acknowledgement just wearing the USC and UCLA shirts around town. Most definitely.
And some of the dudes, we've seen some of the guys that, after you committed, there were some more committed. And now we're kind of waiting. You alluded to it on Twitter. I don't know if you were talking about USC, but when you mentioned the number 3, I figured you were. That there's USC's waiting on some more guys to announce. Just for humor, we're not looking for names, but how big of a deal are these 3 commits going to be? The impact.
They're pretty big. I think we're like number 5 in the nation.
Yeah.
I think we should at least go up to like 3. At least. At least we should at least go to 3. I think it's. Let me think. It's like 4 commits coming. Yeah, like 4.
Now it's up to 4.
Yeah, it's like 4. It's either 3 or 4, and they're coming pretty soon.
Yes.
I was just gonna say you don't have to, you don't have to blow any, shoot your wad or anything, but give us a time frame: 2 weeks, a month, days.
Let me check.
He's like, whoa.
Calendar. He's already got the days ready.
Hey, we didn't got the plug on with us.
He's like Adam Schefter, man. He's getting the breaking news on his phone.
Well, the way that it was put to me was that, let's see, how was it put to me? If I can find it.
You understand that this is the part of the show right now that everybody is hanging on because they want to know who and when, and they're not going to know.
There's some big noise coming soon. All right, so the LA part though, I like going back to that because you have often, you were a dude you were committed to Oregon. You were always sending me pictures of you at USC. You're on, whether you guys were with your Narbonne teammates or whoever you were there with, and it just felt like you were waiting for USC to give you a reason to stay home. And was there one reason, or were there multiple reasons?
I had a couple life conversations with a couple family members, and they just like just here at USC, is deeper than football. Like their degree has a deep power. Like they like, I know you like Oregon, that's the thing they got going, but just just hear those guys out closer to home. So yeah, and then like USC provides a lot of information for you. If that makes sense. They send a lot of graphics with information, draft picks, cost of school, cost of boarding, all the things that you get for free. And then is LA the second biggest media market, I believe, in the nation, behind New York.
Yeah.
I don't think New York has a big football team. And then we're about to be able to get paid for our image and likeness. So that's kind of a no-brainer right there.
It would be for me. I mean, that when I heard that was our first thought when the word started to come out that was going to be passed, and then so California started it all off. And I mean, how big of a conversation was that with your fellow dudes playing football? I mean, when they announced that was going to be passed and be put into, still don't even know when they're going to implement it. It's going to be sooner, I think, than originally planned. But how big of a conversation was that with your guys?
I mean, it's big because I think a lot of us, like a lot of the guys from LA, they have a little following behind them. A lot of followers on Instagram, etc. And then, say for Justin Flo, I think Justin Flo got 100,000 Instagram followers. That's 100,000 people checking your feed all the time, checking your posts, liking your posts, DMing you stuff, sending you stuff. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of eyes. And out of those 100,000 people could want to sponsor you, different things like that. So it's just a lot of eyes.
I mean, it is. And I think this was the first year, I think because the draft was the way it was, we started to see, I don't know what the total number of players was, but we were seeing Wingstop commercials and that kind of stuff. I think that's going to become bigger and bigger and bigger.
Well, most definitely.
5 years. Yeah.
Especially because I've seen a lot of the guys out of LSU. I know for CeeDee Lamb, I think he had FedEx, Wingstop, and something else. But I know I've seen a lot of guys from LSU. They had little in-home spots.
Yeah.
BR Wings, Baton Rouge Wings. They just send them wings, for their because it kind of blow their name up. Like, oh, Woompty Wump is eating BR Wings. Let's go try them out.
Well, I mean, that's how it works. Yeah. That's a lot of us are influenced that way. Yeah, I think if LeBron shows up at Sonic Burger and starts talking up Sonic Burger, I'm going.
Yeah.
Yeah, Anthony, you just talked about LA being as big of a media market as it is. and the image and likeness stuff that's coming up. How big a topic of conversation is that amongst you and guys that you're, either persuading to come to SC or guys that are still in limbo in terms of not only that stuff, but then you look at the Lakers, the Clippers, like LA is the center of the basketball world right now. It's really the center of the baseball world. How big of a topic of conversation is that for you guys?
It's not really a topic. It's just something that like, that LeBron James, one of the best players ever, is located in LA, and his son goes to Sierra Kane, which is LA, and the Clippers is doing what the Clippers do. It's just a lot of and a lot of celebrities come up to SC and UCLA and they train. So it's a lot of opportunity to rub elbows with guys that can help you or mentor you just off the love of sports and want to see you do better. So it's a lot of opportunity at hand, I would say.
Is there anybody in LA that's a sports guy that you haven't met that you'd be dying to meet, that you'd freak out if you ran into him at SC?
Probably LeBron. LeBron is dope. Who else? Like Derwin James. He's dope. Derwin James. Reggie Bush. I never met Reggie Bush.
We're working on that.
Yeah, we need to get him back on campus. You could help us with that.
Reggie Bush.
Let's follow up on that, the Reggie Bush part, because that was a hot topic when we had the USC athletic director on, asking him about Reggie Bush. And the word is he had a 10-year ban. You've probably been told this. And June or July will probably be when USC can have Reggie Bush back and embrace him back as part of the Trojan family as far as football goes. Is that a big deal?
I think that's a big deal because he's one of the best athletes ever to touch the turf. So I think that'd be dope to see, the guys that played once before coming back to the school and just embrace the school, because it's like a different type of motivation. Like, I'm playing the same spot Reggie Bush used to play, like, you feel me? Like, and then it's like the guys before, like, show love, if that makes sense. Like, this Beavers cat from SC's balling, like, keep it up. Shoot you a little follow here and there. Words of encouragement is dope. So.
Anybody have a question?
Anthony, is there anything you're looking forward to asking Reggie Bush the first time you meet him?
He freeze up.
I think we lost him.
You there?
Yeah, I can hear.
Yeah.
Hold on.
All right. Blake, fire away again.
Is there anything that you're dying to ask Reggie Bush the first time you get to meet him?
Not one question, I don't think, but it's just like I watch his tape a lot. I used to play running back. I used to wear number 5, play running back. It's just a lot of things that he used to do that you try to do. Like I used to play Madden with Reggie Bush when he was at the Saints. Run a little slip screens with him, touchdown. It's just like you just kind of like inspire from his game and what he's done, especially because he's going to the same school that you're going to. So, yeah.
If you had to put together your resume and send it to NFL GMs and you were going to highlight your strengths and your weaknesses, what would they be?
Strengths would be a leader, football IQ, able to grasp playbooks pretty fast, able to fit into a team, not an outcast, not a rebel, someone that can understand discipline. Let me think. Somebody that's business oriented, knows when to turn off the fun and games. I think
So-
that's a lot of it.
I was gonna ask you also. This goes back to the LA part. I'm from Southern California. Most of us are from Southern California. I'm not from LA, but when you think of LA and some of the all-time great sports figures that we've had in the city, it seems like they've come and they played for the Lakers, the Dodgers, whoever it might be, and they've stayed and become a big part of the community. There's former USC football players, as you know, that are a big part of the community in Los Angeles. Is that did you envision yourself? Is that something that you envision yourself? You know, go to college, play your ball in the NFL, and LA is always going to be home.
Yeah, most definitely. Because I remember growing up, it was like little like guys that motivated you. Like, man, he balling. Like he just went to college. Like I would say, guys that are motivating me when I was kind of a little younger. Jadon Mickens out of Dorsey High School. He plays for who he play for right now?
State, Washington. Oh yeah, is he with Tampa Bay?
Yeah, he's with Tampa Bay.
That's a great story. Him. I mean, he was committed to USC at one time, as you probably remember.
Him, Jonathan Franklin, who was playing for UCLA, just balling.
Yeah.
Those guys like, man, like I can be something. Like those guys that come up kind of in the same upbringing you come from,
Mm-hmm.
the same parks you played at. So just like, just a different type of motivation.
Anybody else got? I could ask Anthony questions all day, but Brandon Ryder, I know you do.
I don't know if you guys touched on this earlier, but Mark just asked you, you know, how you fit in or what you would tell a NFL GM. But how do you think you fit in with Coach Orlando's system? Where do you think you'll be best suited at?
Coach Orlando's system. So kind of where Deshaun Elliott played, and Brandon Jones, who just got drafted. I forgot where he got drafted to. But that little joker position where both of those guys excelled.
Mm-hmm.
The NFL draft. You know, you posted something on Twitter again that everybody is watching, and there were a lot of commentary about how, you know, you envision yourself there, the chills that you have. I mean, describe to us what it's like for you to be watching that draft, because you're now every year you get closer and closer to that being you.
Watching the NFL draft is surreal because every year is somebody that you kind of know or somebody that, you know, close to. So for this year, it was surreal seeing Darnay get drafted. I worked out with Darnay when I was 8. Worked out with him when I played for Pro A. And he kind of still around for like questions. Like you could DM Darnay, Buki, those guys, and they're gonna respond still. Like even when I tweeted at Darnay and he responded, just with like words of encouragement, like keep going, you know, like you're special, like don't waste your talent. It just be little things like that, like keep going, especially from the guys from not even like your city but your state that have done it. Like they've excelled at high school, went to college, and they're at college right now at the top of their game, about to go to the league. So it's a lot of guys that, you know, that just give words of encouragement that helps. But going back to the NFL draft, it's just surreal because it's like all the hard work that you've been putting in since you're very young can pay off if you just keep on the same route you're on. Because you're on a pretty good route right now, but you just have to embrace what's going on. Don't get too big-headed and then just keep working, really.
With the USC, Brandon asked you about Todd Orlando and that defense. Your role in the defensive backfield at USC will be what?
It's called the Joker.
I mean, they talk to you. I mean, they see you as like a specific area. It seems like they're recruiting DBs right now that are versatile and can play multiple spots.
Yeah, it's multiple spots, but the main spot is that spot that Deshaun Elliott played when he was at Texas.
Okay.
That Joker role,
yeah,
they'll have you it's a pretty versatile safety role. You know, he's all over the place, so you'll be up in the box, which I actually like you around the line of scrimmage. I think you're a pretty good tackler. You know, you like you said, your football IQ, you could tell from your film, it's pretty high. You know, you diagnose plays very well, so that Joker spot will be really good for you.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, it'll give you a chance to kind of bait that quarterback into throwing your direction because you're not really there, but you're there.
Yeah.
And then even it's fun to play in a defense that's not vanilla.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm sure at some point in Pop Warner you played some offense. What made you choose to stick to the defensive side of the ball?
So I stopped playing offense. I stopped playing offense. My sophomore year of high school? No. Yeah, I was playing offense a little bit my sophomore year of high school. Like my junior year of high school, I stopped playing offense. It just like I wasn't playing that much at Sarah because at Sarah you play both ways. So
Mhm.
I knew both sides. I practice offense, practice defense. But it's just like I just think defense is my ticket to the league. I'm not the tallest receiver. I'm not the tallest guy, but you don't have to be the tallest. You don't have to be the tallest. You don't have to be the fastest. But if you know how to be around the ball, make plays, get your hands on the ball, you can go to the league on defense.
Right on. That's
Because
facts.
it's easy to come by 6 feet receivers, but it's pretty hard to come by 6 feet DBs.
Yeah, especially the corner position that could play inside and outside. You look around the league, and a lot of those nickel slot DBs are, in the 5'10", 5'8" range. So you find a solid one at that 6 foot, 200-pound range. That's a good one.
When did you realize or start feeling that USC had maybe turned the corner and started and had hired some coaches? I mean, was it just Dante getting on board, or is it collectively the whole defensive staff they brought on board? Because it seemed like stuff started happening very fast after that. There was a February 1st elite junior day or something like that, and apparently the impression that the coaches left on you guys was pretty high, and then guys came back again for the USC UCLA basketball game. But was there a point where you started to realize, yeah, these guys know what they're doing?
Um, I don't know when they like. I can't tell you exact date, but I know I started feeling USC more around the Rose Bowl. Like the day Chris Hawkins got hired by ASU. That's when I really started that week before. That's when I really started feeling USC.
But what's crazy about that is that Oregon was playing in the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I went to the Rose Bowl game, so it's pretty dope.
Okay, well, I'm going to follow up with that question. We were talking to Lawrence Jackson last week. He was on our show, and obviously he won a Rose Bowl and won a national championship at USC, and he went back and he sat in the stands for this. Were you talking about the Rose Bowl? Was he sitting in the stands this year last year at the Rose Bowl, Oregon?
USC Penn State 2017.
USC Penn State. Okay, all
It was
right.
in the same seats though where Vince Young was coming at that same. That's what he was talking about.
And so he talks the way he talks about the Rose Bowl. You guys are from LA, just the Rose Bowl it's such an amazing place for everybody in Southern California and LA. But I'm hearing some guys talk, like Gary Bryant Jr. He's never been to the Rose Bowl, and he's just like last week he said, "I can't wait to play in the Rose Bowl." Like the Rose Bowl, that's like the one place I can't wait to play in. What is it about that place?
Yeah.
The Rose Bowl is just different. You get a different vibe going to the Rose Bowl. It's just like I don't know how to explain it really, but it's just like it's a different. I think you get a different vibe at the Rose Bowl.
I don't know how to explain it either, but it's that setting, it's knowing the history. I think it's all the comment. It really is an amazingly beautiful place too.
Do you think it has something to do with where it's located? Because it's kind of it's I don't know. I feel like where it's located, kind of especially in relation to UCLA, it's like its own. You know what I mean? Most of their stadiums are right next to the campus.
Yeah. I think so, but because it's just like it's a unique stadium. Is not too close to UCLA. It's like its own thing, the Rose Bowl. Like a lot of historic things happen at the Rose Bowl. So yeah.
You know what's crazy about the Rose Bowl is that right now it takes me like 10 minutes to get there, but in normal time it takes me an hour and 15 minutes. Right. It's not that far away, but it seems like it is. I don't know. It's the weirdest thing is that it's only like 6 miles away.
That traffic,
USC or something like that. Maybe farther than that, but
yeah,
it's an amazing place. I love it too. Like every time I go to the Rose Bowl, I can't wait to go back. But let's talk about the Coliseum. Are there any memories there of watching USC play that stick out?
Watching USC play. The Hail Mary catch from ASU.
That's not a good one.
I was watching that game.
They don't have to be like positive for USC.
The UCLA USC game. What was it? I think it was Sam Darnold versus Josh Rosen.
Yeah.
That game with the little switcheroo punt return. I was at that game.
That was fun.
Let me think. Was that this? Was that Utah USC game there when Juju had the little stiff arm? Was that the
where Juju juked through the guy into the sideline?
Yeah,
that was Utah.
Yeah.
There's a meme on all the GIFs now with that if you're looking for it.
Hey.
And the punt return from Adoree. I think it was either a punt return or a curve return when he jumped over the guy on the sideline. I think it was against Notre Dame.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question, Anthony. Mason, Mason Smith from Louisiana? Apparently he and Corey Foreman are going to take their 4 official visits together. USC is going to be one of them. He's somebody you talked to?
I've never talked to him, actually. I talked to Corey, though.
His decommitment, I'm sure that didn't surprise you, right?
I heard the rumors of it. I heard the rumors of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And looking back, there's people that will say some guys commit too early before they take all of their visits to other schools. But isn't it hard to tell somebody to wait to commit to a school if you're really feeling strongly about a school? Even if you're a freshman in high school, they tell me, what the hell are you committing for? But I mean, you guys don't commit just for shits and giggles. You were feeling something pretty strong at Oregon.
Mm-hmm. It's just like sometimes you can be in so awe of the school and all the situation. Like I think some of that time, like that kind of gets to you. Like the school you always been watching finally offer you, and they're really on you, and you always wanted to go there. So it's like, why not commit? Like,
yeah,
it's like if I'm not committing, I'm wasting time. Like, time is money, and this is the school. This is a school in my heart I know I want to go to. So, but then like feelings can change, and then you can start learning more about the program, and then I think when you commit, you get recruited harder when you commit than when you're not committed.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, I mean, I've seen guys commit and then get offers from 5 schools right after they commit. It's kind of crazy how it works sometimes in that way. But sometimes you do get attention. You get attention with the coaching staffs because of the commitment. But the one question that I will end with, or one of the questions, is you've got another year of high school left. Mm-hmm. We don't know where you're going to be for high school yet in 2020. But when you're done at USC, what do you want to have checked off?
I want to have my degree, most definitely. Checked out. Oh, that's a good question. My degree for sure. That's mandatory. Just a good rap sheet. For my playing days, I want to leave USC healthy, most definitely healthy, and just like I want to leave there with just a positive light on my name. If that makes sense. Just a positive light. Being able to rub elbows with a lot of guys on campus in the city. So this kind of walking in away from UCLA more. Not us at UCLA, USC more in tune with life. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony, do you know what you're going to major in at SC?
Business.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That'll be great.
Well, Anthony's one of the rare dudes that could go to Stanford if he wanted to, and to have that opportunity is, to me, is one of the most impressive accomplishments as far as a student athlete. You get an offer from Stanford and you're able to go there. That just says a lot about you in more than one way. So here he is. He's committed to USC. And is USC, Stanford, you get that offer, and guys, especially when I was in high school, Stanford was a dream school because of what it offers, the opportunities after you're done there. Is USC catching up a little bit in that regard to where you guys are kind of feeling what the strength of the University of Southern California has behind you also?
I think some people don't understand how much and how rich the tradition of USC is. Like USC has a lot of great things going for them. Like I believe there's 4 institutions in the state of California where you don't have to leave and you can be set for life. Like
Yeah.
USC, UCLA, Cal Berkeley, and Stanford. Those are like some of the top schools in the nation that have
Yes.
everything for you, sports and academics. Life after football, connections. So yeah.
I have to ask you about Craig Nyber.
Mhm.
Just tell us what your first impression was him and where that relationship has developed.
I've been in contact with Craig Nyber for a minute. Coach Nyber was recruiting me when he was at Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I've been in contact with Craig Nyber a long time, and then when he got the job, he reached out pretty fast. Him and Coach Orlando both reached out pretty fast. So yeah.
Are you feeling the energy from this new staff?
Mm-hmm.
Is,
Most
is,
definitely.
is,
Go ahead.
is it different from years past?
Yeah, it's definitely different from years past because it's a lot of passionate guys. Like Coach Nyber, I believe, is from Texas, so Texas guys have a different type of energy towards football. If that makes sense.
Anthony, assuming that there's a football season this year, how much is SC's performance on the field this year going to dictate, you think, some of the guys that are still weighing their options?
I don't know, honestly, because I don't think I wouldn't really dictate my decision of how good the school's doing or how bad it's doing. I mean, but if it does bad, it's an opportunity at hand. But if it does good, I don't really know, honestly. But I think it will help some people to see like that they're going in the right direction, that the coaching staff knows what they're talking about, that the team is bonding together. So I think it'll help some guys, definitely. But also I would say that our spots are filling up fast. So you can't really wait around all day. So that would make sense.
Who are you closest to that's currently on the team right now?
Currently on the football team,
Yeah.
Max Williams. I play with Max. I'll probably say like Max Williams and Chris Steele, those 2 guys.
Okay.
Oh, and Josh. I just play with Josh too. Yeah, those 3 guys, for sure.
All right. This might be my last question. The fans are always like recruiting is one of the biggest things, and that's all we pretty much have to talk about right now is recruiting. I mean, we can talk about a lot of the topics with you, but it's kind of an odd situation right now, and there's going to be a lot of business going on in March and April. And, you know, the evaluation period goes on through the end of May, and there are going to be business going on in June, and we may not have any of that. There were some guys like Tony Grimes who had really a lot of interest in visiting USC, and I think the shutdown kind of took USC out of his list of top schools.
Mm-hmm.
And are there some guys, though, from out of state that USC does have a good shot at?
It's a lot of Texas guys that are waiting to see how their visit goes, but it might not be no visit. So
yeah,
I think that helps other schools that they visit already. Like I would say for Latrell Neville, he was supposed to come out here. When he was supposed to come out here? In March.
Yep.
He was supposed to come out here in March. He was feeling SC a lot. But I think since he wasn't able to really get out here, and I think he already been to VTech, and he built a great relationship with VTech, those guys at VTech, and a great institution at Virginia Tech. He pulled the trigger on VTech, which is a smart move. I would have did the same thing. Because time is money. You can't be waiting around forever. So
that seems to be a theme right now. Is this something that who are the guys that you talk to the most? I mean, we know premium. We're going to talk about premium a little bit here. Who is kind of advising you through the recruiting process? Have you kind of leaned on the guys from premium?
Yeah, for the most part, and then the guys I play with, because my teammates have been big profile guys like Max Williams, top 15 at his position. Brian Addison, I think was the #1 athlete for a little while. Kobe Williams, a big prospect out of here, and those guys are just a text away. Like we already have a relationship. Like when I was first considering Oregon, all the homies that went to Oregon, I asked them serious questions like, is this really like just because like I feel like you're gonna get a more honest answer for somebody that you know. Like even though they go there, they might not want you to see there. Like they might not want to see you go there. So
Well, they're not going to lie to you.
yeah.
But I mean, you have to have those people in your life. The people that aren't going to bullshit you. I mean, we all do. And I mean, it's invaluable to have that. But you also, those guys went through the recruiting process. So it was, But going back to Fig and Matt and the guys from Premium, that it's more than a 7-on-7 club. And just describe, what that has added to your life, because those are, first of all, some of my favorite dudes, and just, I think, an amazing organization.
Well, Fig provides a lot of honesty that us athletes need, because I think you get that first couple of offers, you boom, you got a little 10 offers, you get a little complacent. You kind of get you start reading the articles, start looking at the rankings, but those don't mean nothing really. All those offers, all that stuff can be going real fast because it's somebody across the nation that's doing exactly what you're doing, but 3 hours before you and 2 more times a day than you. So you have to find ways to separate yourself from the pack. So I think Fig and those guys have implemented me with a lot of knowledge. Just like, I don't know if you see how like Malik Murphy, he say like I lift, like that's all stuff that's been implemented from Fig. Because when we like 8th grade in there, we was in there scrawny. He like you guys need to lift weights, like. And then you start lifting weights, you start playing different, you start moving different, you start thinking different.
Yeah.
So it just separates yourself from the boys. Like it's sharks and then it's salmon. Like you want to have yourself with the sharks.
And you played at an elite level of football for a while now. How do you maintain that drive, man? I mean, I know it's got to be a love for the game, but what else is it?
It's just kind of like having something to prove. Because even with like the rankings, they'll rank somebody ahead of you. So it's just kind of like having that chip on your shoulder, having someone to prove. And then like, it's just all about like releasing. It's just like football is my happy place. Somewhere where I can just be at peace, mind free, not thinking about the world, not thinking about homework, not thinking about anything but the task at hand. It has to be and play the best of my abilities.
Are you missing 7-on-7 this spring?
A little bit. It was fun, especially because we had a lot of trips set up. We make a lot of memories in that. In those trips, I missed a lot of trips, but it wasn't that bad. It was like everybody's still connected, and then since 7-on-7 being canceled, a lot of our guys have committed. I think it's like 4 of us have committed already. I think it's 4 of us committed. UNLV, NAU, USC, and UCLA. So 4 of us committed, and I think it's some more coming up pretty soon. So yeah.
Cool. How much of a role has Clay Helton played in your recruitment? We know how much Dante and Craig Nyber, lately have played a role, but how much is Clay?
He's an honest guy, so it's kind of dope to see the interest level in the head coach, the head guy. He could be doing so much more things than reaching out to you. He's a head coach of a university, of a prestigious university. He could be doing 1,000 different things, but he's shooting you texts here and there, just checking up on you, sending you little graphics. It's just like the little things. Like I think the little things in recruitment go a long way. Especially like a lot of schools copy and paste messages. Us recruits see that. Like we talk, like you can tell when something is organic and when it's not.
Right. And I was going to ask you about, you touched on it, is how genuine is Clay versus some of the other big time head coaches that, you talk to on a regular basis? You don't have to mention any names, but they're behind the scenes. We, Scott and I and people in our industry, we talk about it because we talk to you guys behind the scenes, who's real, who's not, can you, just go into depth a little bit about that? What's fake and what's, what you look for?
I think it's kind of dope when you get offered by a school and the head coach hits you up and they want to talk. Like they made time out their day, out their busy schedule, to
Mhm.
communicate with a recruit because they don't have to do it at all. They don't have to hit up any recruits and see how they're doing, and just to touch bases and then show how much interest they have. So I believe it's kind of eye opener to see how much the school actually wants you.
All right. Well, we've kept him now for an hour. Do we have any more questions? I mean, because we're going to talk to you throughout this recruiting process, but I said I had a last question, but the LA part again. I've talked to Gavin all the time, and Gavin is talking. The Adidas people, branding has become that selling point for a lot of guys, and we touched on that earlier in this meeting here. Just how much is that talked about, the branding part, and how in LA you just can't get anywhere better than that.
I think a lot of the coaches at SC bring it up because it's a fact. It's not something that's made up or something that's kind of swept under the rug. You can't sweep that under the rug. Just for say like the guys on the team, it's a lot of 5-star guys. They have big names. They have a lot of buzz, a lot of chatter around their names. Like say for instance, Chris Steele has a lot of big. He was what was he, number 1 corner in the nation, something like that.
Yes.
60 offers. So his name is known from the Pacific to the Atlantic. So I think that helps. And then it's just like being a recruit. And then like I think when Brew was figuring out what school he wanted to go to, his name was trending on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Like stuff like that doesn't happen for high school football athletes when your name is trending on a social media platform.